Hi there, my name is Shelley. I'm a speech language pathologist at the Fraser Valley Child Development Center, and May is Speech and Hearing Month, so welcome. Today I am visiting with one of the most amazing parents I've worked with. I work with many amazing parents, and she is definitely one of them. I've worked with this family for quite a while now, and I consider myself very lucky. So I'd like to introduce Kelsey. Kelsey is the mom of a very amazing little girl and boy who we've had the pleasure of working with. So welcome, Kelsey.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Like Shelley said, my name is Kelsey, and I am the mother of two wonderful little children. My oldest is Jackson, he's 6, and my youngest is Madison, who is 4.5 now, which I can't believe. And we've been connected with the Fraser Valley Child Development Center from the very beginning. I want to say it was probably about 4 years ago, and they have been so amazing in supporting our family and just being able to get first my son to be able to speak and my daughter to be able to communicate.
So Kelsey, I'm going to ask you just a few questions about Madison and your experience with our organization. And so maybe you can just tell us a little bit about Madison. What's going on for my best girl?
Well, Madison has cerebral palsy, and so she has a little blip in her brain to muscle communication. So that makes a lot of things a little bit more complex and a little bit more hard for her. She is also diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So there's kind of two disabilities clashing there that have made communication really complex and difficult for her. And so with both those diagnoses, we've really needed the support, because I don't even know where to start to be able to help support her communicating with the world.
Right, and so like you said, we've been involved with Madison since she was wee, and so you've been involved not just with speech and language, but with other services with us as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have been working closely with physical therapy, occupational therapy, and of course, you, Shelley, with the SLP, and even infant development and massage. Oh, I almost completely forgot about massage. And honestly, the support that I've gotten, we always joke that when you have a kid, you don't get an owner's manual, and you're kind of thrown into the mix of it, and you just have to learn as you go. But there are so many other complexities when you have a child, especially with special needs or disabilities, and you can really feel lost, and you don't even know what questions you're supposed to ask. And so being able to be connected with so many of the departments, I really have felt like you guys have my back, and you're able to guide us through this, that I don't feel like I'm drowning, that, I have these resources that I'm able to reach out for and say, help, I don't understand this, or I don't know what to do next, because realistically, I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's because of the support that I've gotten from the CDC that has really helped us get to where we are.
Well, I certainly feel very lucky to have been a part of Madison's pre-kindergarten experience. So one of the things that we've been working on with Madison is helping her to communicate. At first we were trying some signs, and some of those really stuck, and we still have a lot of those going on. But one of the journeys that we've been on is helping Madison to help her communicate using augmentative or alternative communication. And specifically, we have introduced her to an iPad with an app on it that helps her to communicate with other people. So can you tell us a little bit about the app that she's using and how it's been going using it?
Yeah, so we have the app with, we have the iPad with the app SnapCore First by Toby Dynavox, and it has been amazing because, like you said, we had started with signs and gestures, which are really great, because then she can kind of get just the basic communication piece, but a lot of signs are really intricate and some of them look very similar, and with her cerebral palsy, it's just too complex for her to be able to really distinguish that. So with the use of the iPad, that just completely opened up her vocabulary. And so how it works is on the screen, there's lots of buttons, and when she presses a button, the app vocalizes what she wants to say. And, you know, that was definitely a huge learning curve for our family, but to be able to hear her actually be able to speak in a way and be able to communicate far more than just like grunts or gestures has been really amazing.
That's awesome. It's so exciting to hear that it's been a good experience for you. So what's been the most rewarding thing about using the device with her?
Oh, I just being able to get inside her head, you know, like having the support of the device has really shown us that Madison knows way more than we thought she did. It really, really opened up our eyes that she has opinions, she has thoughts, she has things she wants to say. Like, I'm making breakfast and she tells me that she wants banana with breakfast or she wants peaches with breakfast, and it kind of takes out that guessing game that I'm able to present the device to her and she's able to make her own selections and have, you know, she has something to say, and this device has given her her voice essentially.
That's so exciting. And she's using it to ask for things, which is monumental, because if she needs help or if she's hurt or any of that kind of thing, now she has you know, a way to tell you. But you told me a story last week about, she's even just telling you about thoughts that she's had and experiences, like she had a dream, right?
Yeah, the other day I went to get her up and I had brought the iPad over, and she kind of, sometimes she gets into a rhythm of like, these are the buttons I press in a certain order, which can be a little bit, what I say, like rigid routines. So I had given her the iPad in the morning and she had told me she had gone into her bedroom category, and there we have a whole selection of words that she could use in her bedroom. And so I'd given her the iPad and she said, I slept great last night. And then she said, I'm hungry for breakfast, which are just individual buttons. And then she went down in the pages, which I thought was a little curious. And then she told me that she had had a bad dream. And I would have had no idea that she had had a bad dream. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, honey. Like, it's over now. Gave her a big hug. But without the iPad, I would have been completely oblivious that she had had a bad dream the night before. So yeah.
I mean, that's the fact that she can tell you about experience she's had that you haven't been able to experience with her is beyond exciting for her to be able to share those things. So that's amazing. So, I mean, there's clearly lots of really positive things. Has there been any parts about using the device that you found sort of challenging for her or with her, like teaching her?
I think probably the biggest challenge would be my own learning curve, because there's so much that, you know, we think through parenting that, you know, oh, we teach our kids the colors and the alphabet and the shapes. And this is teaching language at a whole different level, because you really have to know where to start. And especially with the iPad, like I've really needed your support in knowing what's next. Like, what do we teach her next? How do we build the communication so that this is something that she can use when she's an adult, you know, if she still needs that kind of support, and just being able to have that continuation of language. It's not so much just requests, but learning how to build sentences and things like that. And, you know, I have no idea how to do that as a parent. And so that's been challenging. And there's definitely been times where she's gotten frustrated with it. Again, with a cerebral palsy, you know, she has to have a good pointer finger to be able to navigate through the buttons. And sometimes she gets frustrated if she is mishitting a button, or if there isn't a button, she'll go through and then she'll just start hitting the iPad as to like, there's no button here. And so she experiences some frustration with that. But it has been really cool because at the same time, she's also been able to find like close enough button. So if she wants to communicate a certain thing, but she doesn't have a specific communication button for that, she can go and find like the next closest thing. So she's learning how to problem solve herself, which I think is just amazing for her development.
It is, definitely. And that's exciting that she's able to do that and has enough navigation, can use the device well enough that she goes, wait a minute, I've got another word for that. So that's amazing. And so, you know, I mean, you've been through a lot with all this communication nonsense. You've worked through all sorts of levels with her. You've had to sort of interpret her sounds and her gestures and her signs and now her words through the iPad. Do you have any advice for other people who are considering using an augmentative device for their child who doesn't have any other way to communicate with them?
Don't delay. Honestly, like we started pretty young. I feel like we started when she was around 2. And I feel like that's kind of the perfect age that if there are other families considering AAC or using an iPad, any sort of alternative communication, just get started, because it really takes away that frustration of what does my kid want, of, you know, being able to give them a chance. And there's absolutely no concerns from our side that using a device would in any way delay her own vocalization communications. We've actually seen an increase in her own vocalizations. So I think with that, you know, we're able to take the frustration that she doesn't quite have, you know, her own vocal words yet, and that she's able to communicate. So I think it's one of those things that's just like, if you can do it, just go for it, because like it's amazing some of the things that they're able to communicate, and you're just like, wow, like that's so amazing, like thanks for sharing that with me. So yeah, it's been really cool to hear what she's got going on in her little head of hers.
She's got a lot going on. She's got lots of things to share. Well, Kelsey, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. She's an amazing, amazing little person, and you are such a fantastic mom. So she's very lucky to have you and your husband, and of course, Jackson. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it, sharing all this great stuff with us.
Thank you so much. It's really great to be able to share our own experiences, and hopefully we can, you know, bring hope to some other person who's going on a similar journey that, you know, we've been through it, and it's been really, really beneficial for us. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.